Hi, in this video, we will see how to check recursive behavior in copy activity and how to see wildcard path, folder name and file name here. So let's see what kind of architecture I have defined here, what kind of data set I am already defined here. Here is the source. Here inside the source I am already created three subdirectory. Directory 1, which is consisting subdirectory 1, and here in subdirectory I am having subdirectory also GPG and Excel file. So here you can see CSV files available here. Go back inside this directory subdirectory 2, I am having subdirectory 2 and countries 1 in order to see different level of hierarchy here. Now going back to my directory 2, I am having JPG folder and CSV file. When I check directory 3, I am having text file, Parquet file and JSON file. Let's go back to my source and also created some sync folder. Here you can see no blob found, means I do not have any kind of file here. Let's go back to my ADF pipeline. Here I am having copy directory and I will see 5 different scenario using this recursive and wildcard paths. So first and foremost, I'm not giving anything here inside this folder. As you can see inside this this documentation, that we can give the different scenario. Here is the folder path, folder asterisk means folder name, file name. You can keep it empty. Empty doesn't mean you can keep empty as a file name. You will have to give asterisk as by default. Recursive, you can make it true or false, and what kind of subfolder will be pasted there at the destination location. And let's see what kind of scenario is going to display. So I'm going to check this sub wildcard folder path as empty and going to write this as a asterisk. If I'll give nothing, so I'm going to debug this one, it's going to throw an error because I'm not passing anything there. So I'm going to give default value, that is asterisk here, and going to recursive off. So let's see what kind of behavior it is going to display. So I'm going to debug this copy activity and it's not showing any error. It's a mandatory, you can publish all, but I'm not publishing it, not saving it in my ADF workspace, but you need to save it first. So here you can see it's going to run and queue and it's going to showing succeed here. Now go back sync. Here you can see, is it anything pasted here? No. Why not pasting anything? Because in each subdirectory we have everything in a subdirectory folder. Or if I go back here in directory 2, it's also having something there. Right? Let's paste something directly in this container. So I'm going to upload some file here and let's paste JSON, Parquet and text file in this file here and upload here. Let's see, I'm having DR1, DR2 and DR3 and other files also, and currently I do not have anything in my sync. I'm going to run the same pipeline using the same, keeping it empty and asterisk. I'm going to debug it. Let's debug. Here you can see it's showing queue and then it will go to in progress and then will go to succeed. Can you see it's a succeed now? Go back sync and refresh this part. Can you see now having all these files without hierarchy, whatever we do not have. And also you can see this is showing text, Parquet, JSON, everything, because we do not provide any specific extension name. If you will provide any extension name, for example CSV, so it will paste only CSV file, rest will not paste here. So we do not have any CSV file. Let's make it JSON file. So I'm going to paste only, I'm going to move JSON folder. So let's delete first and let's debug this pipeline again. Refresh. Can you see it's a succeed now? Let's refresh this thing. Can you see it's a pasted only JSON file? This is first scenario where we have empty file folder path and we have pasted asterisk as in. So it's just pasting something different. Now I'm going to keep some dir asterisk, and with this dir asterisk I'm going to keep it JS asterisk only and keep it at recursive off. I'm going to debug again this pipeline, right? Let's delete these files, or let's keep it as it is. Let's see the behavior only. Let's refresh. Can you see it's a succeed? What we have done? We have taken dir asterisk and asterisk here, which means all the files we want to move. Let's sync and refresh it. Can you see it's a pasted only di2 and di3? So here we have di2, all the sub data, and here we have all the sub data. Why it didn't paste it dir1? Because inside this dir1 I am having subdirectory, and inside this subdirectory subdirectory. This is next level of hierarchy, which means it's not gonna paste everything which is correcting, which is having dir and next level of hierarchy. So this is the reason it's only pasted these directory. So I'm going to delete all these past and going to delete everything. This JSON is from previous section. Let's rerun this pipeline again so that we do not have that JSON file. So what kind of, I'm just providing folder path as dir asterisk, whatever dir asterisk name will match, it will paste there, and asterisk there. And let's make it refresh and succeed and check my sync again. Can you see it's pasted only dir, which is not having any hierarchy level or recursive data, because dir1 having recursive folder and subfolder, it's not pasted there. Let's move to dir sync again and delete this part, these two folders, and let's go back. Let's see third scenario where I'm going to delete. I'm going to keep this file folder wildcard folder path empty and this asterisk here. Now I'm going to keep this recursive as checkbox. Now debug here. We do not have anything in this sync. We have this dir with dir2, dir3, and I'm going to run this pipeline with this empty wildcard folder path and asterisk. Let's see whether it is succeed or not. Yes, it is succeed. Go to sync, refresh it. Now you can see all the content is showing here. dir, subdirectory, all the files, jpg, excel file also, and csv file. Go back to your subfolder 2 country csv file there. Go back to my directory 2, jpg and csv file. Go back to directory file, json and parquet file, also showing same kind of hierarchy I'm going to display because recursive is currently on, right, and not defining any dir here. Now what I'm going to do here, keeping recursively on, I'm going to give dir asterisk here and just giving dir asterisk here, right? So it will be pasted everything, right? And now I'm going to delete everything from my sync so that I can have the impact of result as well. Now I'm having empty sync. I'm going to run debug with this dir asterisk and asterisk in my file name, and recursive is on in this scenario, right? And let's say here it is Q and succeed. Now go to sync, refresh it. Here you can see sync is there, everything is there, every folder is there. It's the same as previous value. But if you check this resource also, we do not have upper values, which means it's also checking only recursive value, not the particular, and not the recursive, but directly related to dir only, not the upper values. This is why it's not pasting upper values only. Here I can see only subdirectory, those are named with dir, starting with dir, and also recursive property. Now I'm going to check the fifth scenario where I'm going to put dir but with CSV and keeping this folder here. Here you can see with this dir directory 2, this CSV file is there. When I'm going to check this directory 1, JPG Excel file is also here. I'm going to check directory 2, JPG is there, directory 3, text and Parquet JSON file, everything is just pasted here. Now go to sync and going to delete, going to empty this destination. Currently I do not have in my sync. Now go back here. What's this case? This is case number 5 where I am having directory asterisk and asterisk.csv. I need only CSV file to be moved from source to destination. So I'm going to keep it recursive on and let's debug this activity again. Let's refresh. So as soon as this is going to refresh, you can check your property again that you have keep wildcard folder path as directory asterisk and file name as asterisk.csv. I believe it would be succeed now. Here you can see it's showing succeed. Now I'm going to refresh my sync part. Here you can see only directory file, subdirectory, only CSV file is present. Now go back to directory 2. Here only CSV file is there. Directory 3, only CSV file is there. Let's check directory subdirectory 2, only CSV file. We cannot see Parquet, Excel, JPG, JSON. None other file is showing here in my sync destination, which means it's accepting only CSV extension, nothing else. This is all about this wildcard path, and you can see the recursive behavior as well. Thank you.